You know those dreamy photos you see of Da Nang's marble mountains? The ones with monks gliding through the mist, ancient temples peeking out from the fog, and a sense of spiritual calm that makes you want to meditate on the spot? Yeah, those. They paint a picture of a peaceful, almost otherworldly escape, like you're about to step into a Zen painting. But let's be real for a second. The actual experience? It's a lot less Zen and a whole lot more chaos. The moment you arrive, you're swept up in a sea of tourists, all jostling for the best photo op or the nearest shade. Instead of wandering through quiet, echoing caves, you're dodging selfie sticks, squeezing past tour groups, and sweating through your shirt as you climb endless steps. The caves echo, not with chants, but with the sound of camera shutters and laughter. Sure, it's famous, and you feel like you have to check it off your list, but when you get there you realize it's basically 5 big rocks, each named after one of the elements: earth, water, fire, wood, and metal. Sounds mystical, right? But don't expect to climb them all. The magic starts to fade when you're greeted by a sprawling car park and a marble market so massive, it could host a football match. The base of the mountains is less a gateway to enlightenment and more a bustling commercial hub. Every single shop seems to sell the same marble lions, Buddhas, and oddly realistic marble fruit. Seriously, who's buying all these marble apples and bananas? Do people redecorate their homes with stone fruit? The air is thick with the whir of marble grinders, the shouts of vendors hawking overpriced water, and the constant hum of bargaining. It's less a spiritual retreat, and more a marketplace with a mountain backdrop. So much for a spiritual journey. The whole place feels like a marble-themed amusement park, complete with long lines, crowds in matching hats, and the occasional tour guide waving a flag. And here's the kicker: out of the 5 mountains you only get to climb one, Tui-san. The others just sit in the distance, looking mysterious but totally off-limits to the average visitor. The whole experience feels less like exploring an ancient site and more like being herded along a tourist conveyor belt, shuffling from one crowded viewpoint to the next. Still, after coming all this way, I couldn't just turn back. Curiosity, and maybe a little FOMO, got the better of me. I had to see what all the fuss was about, even if it meant braving the crowds. How bad could it really be? Spoiler alert, those are the famous last words of every optimistic traveler. Serenity? Not quite. But, hey, at least it's an adventure. Welcome to the Marble Mountains, where the only thing more abundant than marble is the crowd. Before you see a single cave, you're funneled through a marble marketplace. It's a relentless maze of shops, each one more insistent than the last. Shopkeepers wave marble frogs and Buddhas at you. Very lucky, they say. The sheer volume of marble is absurd: dragons, turtles, Venus de Milo statues. The pressure to buy is real. It's a workout just saying no. You're here for a natural wonder, but first, you must survive a gauntlet of commercialism. It's like a shopping channel exploded at the foot of a sacred mountain. By the time you reach the ticket booth, you're already exhausted. The spiritual journey starts with a transaction and a bottle of lukewarm water. 40,000 dong later, you're in. But it feels more like entering a mall than a holy site. The mountain looms, less peaceful, more daunting. The real climb hasn't even started. Welcome to the Marble Mountains. Buy now, reflect later. At the base of the Marble Mountains, you're faced with a classic tourist dilemma. 2 options: take the winding ancient stone stairs, or opt for the modern convenience of the glass lift. The stairs promise a slow, sweaty ascent, but also the satisfaction of earning every step. The lift, on the other hand, gleams with the promise of effortlessness. The glass lift is glued to the mountain's side, a futuristic touch on an ancient landscape. It looks almost out of place, but for many, it's irresistible. The queue for the lift is epic. Dozens of tourists, all dodging the relentless Vietnamese sun, not exactly seeking enlightenment, but definitely seeking shade and a shortcut. Of course, the lift costs extra. It's a clever move. Pay for comfort, pay for speed. Genius, really, if you think about it. The price isn't outrageous, but it's just enough to make you wonder if you're missing out by not taking the stairs. But here's the twist. You pay to skip the first bit, but the lift only takes you halfway up the mountain. It's a shortcut, but not a free ride to the top. It's like hailing a taxi that drops you at the end of your street instead of your front door. Convenient, but not quite what you hoped for. Inside, the lift is packed, humid, and honestly a little underwhelming. You're crammed in with strangers, all silently questioning their life choices. When the doors open, you're not at the summit, just at another set of stairs, staring up at the real climb ahead. The view from the platform is decent, with glimpses of Da Nang and the coastline, but the real adventure is just beginning. From here, paths branch off to mysterious caves and the enticingly named Heaven's Gate, each promising their own challenges. But no matter which way you go, it's all more stairs, steeper, older, and somehow even more daunting. The real drama isn't in the scenery, but in the warning signs. Bold, dramatic, and a little bit cheeky, as if daring you to keep going. The lift is just a lazy interlude, a brief pause before the real work begins. Most people stop to catch their breath, realizing the journey is far from over. You can see the confusion on everyone's faces as they realize the hardest part is still ahead. The shortcut was only an illusion. The journey is just getting started, and now, it's time to earn those views the old-fashioned way. My legs ached just looking at the next set of steps, but there was no turning back. No shortcuts to enlightenment here. Just one step after another, and the promise of something amazing at the top. The stairs are endless, uneven, slippery, carved from rock. People attempt the climb in flip-flops and heels. Disaster is inevitable. Even in trainers, every step feels risky. The humidity is brutal, you're drenched in minutes. Pagodas and viewpoints are just pit stops for panting tourists. Locals breeze past, unfazed, making you feel ridiculous. The signage is cryptic. Be careful, with a stick figure falling or way to heaven pointing into a bush. You wander, hoping you're not lost. The soundtrack camera clicks, chatter, and the occasional wailing child. Ancient carvings and gnarled trees are hard to appreciate when you're dodging tour groups. Enlightenment? More like survival. All I wanted was an ice-cold drink and a seat. My life choices had never felt more questionable. The climb was relentless. Finally, Huyan Kong Cave, a vast, echoing chamber. Sunbeams cut through the dust, illuminating a giant marble Buddha. For a moment, it's awe-inspiring. Then you notice the crowds, selfies, peace signs, and echoing chatter. The cave feels more like a photo op than a sacred space. Offerings and altars are surrounded by chaos. Someone's changing a nappy on what might be an altar. A family picnics by a smaller Buddha. Any sense of spirituality is drowned out by tourism. Every corner is occupied, quiet reflection is impossible. Even the side chambers are packed. The marble mountains are less about peace, more about people watching. It's a sacred rave, hundreds failing to find quiet. The Buddha looks serene, but the vibe is pure circus. You get your photo, but not much enlightenment. The quest for calm continues. Next up, Heaven's Gate, another brutal staircase, nearly vertical. At this point, stubbornness takes over. Hauling myself up, shirt soaked, I finally reach the top. The view is stunning. Beach, city, and the other marble peaks. For a minute, the chaos fades, but the platform is tiny and packed, everyone jostling for the same king of the world photo. You get 2 minutes at the railing before being nudged aside. It's a conveyor belt of selfies. Was it worth it? The view, yes. The experience, less so. Hard to feel triumphant when you're elbowed by strangers. The photos will look better than it felt. Classic tourist trap, you get the shot, but lose a bit of your soul. The descent looms and so does reality. The climb's reward is fleeting. Back to the marble, because you can't escape it. Statues, shrines, even bins are marble. The craftsmanship is impressive. The detail on dragons and gods is stunning. But for every masterpiece, there's a pile of kitsch googly-eyed turtles, Buddha chess sets, marble ashtrays. It's a weird mix of genuine art and mass-produced souvenirs. Workshops show real skill, men covered in dust carving for hours. Next door, plastic keyrings of the same statues, the authentic and the fake side by side. Is it ancient craft or tourist factory? Probably both. Buddha's image is everywhere, happy, thinking, even playing football. It feels a bit disrespectful, but business is booming. The line between reverence and retail is blurry. You leave wondering what's real and what's just for show. The marble industry is alive and well, and everyone's got a Buddha in their bag. After the climb, I was starving. Food stalls promise authentic Vietnamese fare, but you're eating noodles next to marble eagles. I picked a random spot, plastic chairs, faded menu photos. The pho was fine. Bland, tourist-friendly, nothing special. The real entertainment was people watching sunburnt tourists, map arguments, proud owners of marble frogs. Overheard, "It just feels so real," says a tourist, sipping Coke. Finding truly local food here is tough. Everything's geared for the masses. The best meals are probably hidden far from the marble dust. But after that climb, I settled for average noodles and called it a win. The quest for authentic food would have to wait. Time to brave the souvenir gauntlet one last time. The Marble Mountains, beautiful, chaotic, and utterly bizarre. From the moment you arrive, you're hit with a sensory overload. The buzz of scooters, the chatter of tourists, the scent of incense and street food mingling in the humid air. It's a spiritual site where peace is impossible, a showcase of art next to piles of tat. The shrines and pagodas are stunning, but they're sandwiched between souvenir stalls selling everything from plastic Buddhas to neon magnets. The mountains promise adventure, but what you actually get is a sweaty, crowded climb, one that tests your patience as much as your legs. Every step is a reminder that you're not alone. You're part of a slow-moving parade, all inching upward together. What sticks with me isn't the view or the Buddha, but the absurd moments. The man in loafers bravely scaling rocks. The family picnic sprawled across a narrow path. The endless marble statues that seem to multiply around every corner. It's a place where the ordinary becomes surreal. It's the shared experience of being a tourist, all searching for authenticity and finding a gift shop. You realize you're not just visiting a landmark, you're part of a global ritual, everyone hoping for a unique moment but ending up with the same fridge magnet. For fellow travelers, go, but know what you're in for. It's not a hidden gem, it's a well-trodden path, and you'll be walking it with hundreds of others, all clutching cameras and water bottles. Don't expect serenity, bring your sense of humor and lots of water. You'll need both to survive the heat, the crowds, and the occasional existential crisis about why you're there. Wear good shoes, and prepare for more selfies than spirituality. The best moments might be the candid ones, shared laughter, awkward poses, and the collective struggle up those endless stairs. Would I do it again? Once is enough. The climb, the chaos, the confusion, it's all part of the story, but not something I'd rush to repeat. I've got the blurry photo and the story to prove it. That's the real souvenir, a memory that's a little out of focus but unforgettable. It's a box to tick, not a place to linger. You come, you see, you sweat, you leave. One more destination checked off the list. But I'm glad I went. It's the weird, confusing moments that make travel memorable. The Marble Mountains are a reminder that sometimes the best stories come from the most unexpected places. The Marble Mountains delivered those in spades. Every odd encounter, every sweaty step, every laugh shared with strangers, it all adds up to an experience you won't soon forget. Not the retreat I imagined, but a story worth telling. Sometimes that's all you need from a place, a tale to bring home, a memory to share, and that's enough for me. The Marble Mountains may not call me back, but they've certainly left their mark.